All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. We are still on lesson 14. I'm going to go over yesterday's problem set, and then I'm going to go over the extended part of the problem set and end up giving you your assignment for today. Okay, so I'm going to go through the problem set. Please check your answers, make sure they're correct. Check your work and try to find any mistakes that you made along the way. Okay, so I have 35 and 7/10 divided by 7/100. Okay? 35 and 7/10 divided by 7/100. Okay? The first thing I need to do is I need to make the divisor a whole number, so I'm going to move the decimal 2 times. Okay? And I need to do the same thing to the dividend, move it twice, but it only has one number after the decimal. When this happens, I need to add a 0 and then bring my decimal after the 0. Okay, so my new problem turns into 3,570 divided by 7. And then I can go through my division. 7 goes into 35 5 times evenly. We bring down the next number, which is a 7. 7 goes into 7 once, and all we have left is a 0, so we add it to our answer. And the answer to number 1 comes out to 510. Let's look at number 2. Number 2 gives us 486 and 12/100 divided by 6/10. I'm only going to move this once to make it a whole number, so I'm only moving the decimal once in the dividend, and then I'm going to divide. And my new problem turns into 4,861 and 2/10 divided by 6. Okay, 6 goes into 48 8 times. We subtract this and we get 0. We bring down the 6. 6 goes into itself once. We subtract that, we get 0, and then we bring down the 1. 6 can't go into 1, so we have to put a 0 down. Let's bring this decimal straight up and then drop the 12, or drop the 2 to make it 12. Now 6 can go into 12 2 times evenly with no remainder. So our answer comes out to 810 and 2/10. Guys, don't forget to bring up the decimal if you still have it in your dividend. Okay, let's look at number 3. Number 3 gives us 3 and 43/100 divided by 35 thousandths. Okay, I'm going to move my decimal 3 times. I'm going to move my decimal 3 times in my dividend as well. It only has 2 numbers, so I have to add a 0 to it. So my new problem turns into 3,430 divided by 35. Okay, so 35 can't go into 34, so we have to start with 343. I'm going to try it 9 times because I know 35 times 10 is 350. So this is 45, 27, and 31. So it's 315. We subtract this, and we get 28, and then we bring down the 0. Now I need to figure out how many times 35 goes into 28. I know 3 times 8 is 24, 3 times 9 is 27, but it does have a 5. So let's try 35 times 8 first, and that is 40, 24, 28, and look at that, it comes out evenly with no remainder, so my answer comes out to 98. Okay, number 4, I have 5,418 and 54/100 divided by 9 thousandths. Okay, I'm moving the decimal 3 times, so I have to do the same thing in the dividend. There's only 2 numbers after the decimal, so I have to add a 0. And my new problem turns into 5,418,540 divided by 9. Okay, big numbers, but this problem's really easy. Okay, 59 goes into 54 6 times. We subtract this and we get 0, bring down the 1. 9 can't go into 1, so we add a 0 and we bring down the 8. 9 goes into 18 twice. We subtract this and we get 0. Then we bring down the 5. 9 can't go into 5, so we add a 0. Bring the next number down. Again, 9 goes into 54 6 times. And all we have left is the 0, and we add it to our answer. Okay? So our answer comes out to 602,060. All right, guys, number 5. Number 5 gives us 812 and 5/10 divided by 1 and 25/100. I'm going to move the decimal 2 times over. Okay, so I have to do the same thing to the dividend. It only has one number, so I have to add a 0. And my new problem turns into 81,250 divided by 125. In this problem, we have to start with 812 because 81 is too small. Okay, and 125 is going to go into 812. Let's try 6 times. This is 30, 12, 15, 6, and 7. So it is 750. We subtract this and we get 62. Then we bring down the 5. Okay, looking at this, 625, it's less than 750. We're dividing by 125. If I take 125 away from 750, that is 625. So I know it's one less time. It's a 5. It goes into it evenly. And all we have left is a 0 here, so I'm going to add it to my answer. And my answer comes out to 650. Okay, my next question gives us 17 and 343 thousandths divided by 36 and 9/10. Moving the decimal one place to the right to make it a whole number. I need to do the same thing to the dividend. So my new problem turns into 173 and 43/100 divided by 369. We can already go ahead and bring our decimal straight up, okay? Just so we don't forget. 369 is too big for 173, so we have to start with 1,734, okay? It's either going to be 4 or 5. I think it's going to be 4 because it has that 69 attached to it. So 369 times 4 is 36, 24, 27, 12, and 14. Okay, so it is 4 times. We're going to subtract this, and we get 8, 5, and 2. Then we bring down the 3. 369 is going to go into 2,583. 7 times. Okay, 63, 46, 48, 21, 25. It goes into it evenly with no remainder. So my answer comes out to 47/100. Okay, guys, make sure you corrected any mistakes on your problem set. And let's move on. So now you're going to have 3 word problems, but just dealing with the same types of division problems. So number 9 says Daryl spent $4.68 on each pound of trail mix. He spent a total of $14.04. How many pounds of trail mix did he purchase? Okay, so my division problem here is going to be 14.04 divided by $4.68. I still need to make this divisor a whole number, so I'm going to move it 2 times over, and I'm going to do the same to the dividend. So my new problem turns into 1,404 divided by 468. Okay, so looking at this, 468 can't go into 140, so we have to start with the whole thing. And let's see how many times. I know 4 times 3 is 12, so let's try 468 times 3. This is 24, 18, and 20, 12, and 14. And look at that. We go into it evenly 3 times with no remainder. So my answer comes out to 3. They are asking how many pounds of trail mix did he purchase. He purchased 3 pounds. Okay, let's look at number 10. Number 10 says Mammy saved $161.25. This is 25% of the amount she needs to save. How much money does Mammy need to save? Well, they're trying to trick you here. Okay? They're giving you 25% instead of a decimal, but we already know how to convert percentages to decimals. Okay, so 25% as a decimal is just 0.25. Okay, so now my problem turns into 161.25 divided by 0.25. We're going to move the decimal 2 times over. And the same thing in the dividend, so my new problem turns into 16,125 divided by 25. Okay, so 25 can't go into 16, but it can go into 161. Think of quarters. 4 quarters is 100, and so it's going to be 6 times. That is 150. We subtract that, and we get 11. Then we bring down the 12, or the 2. 25 goes into 112 4 times. That is 100. We subtract this, and we get 12. And we're left with 125. 25 is going to go into that evenly 5 times. Okay? And there are no remainders. My answer comes out to 645. We're talking about money, so it is dollars. All right, guys, last one. Number 12 says Jared is making candles from beeswax. He has 132.72 ounces of beeswax. If each candle uses 8.4 ounces of beeswax, how many candles can he make? Will there be any wax left over? Okay, so I have 132.72 divided by 8.4. Okay, I need to move the decimal 1 place over to make this a whole number. I need to do the same to the dividend. So my new problem turns into 1,327 and 2/10 divided by 84. Okay, so 84 can't go into 13, but it can go into 132 once. We subtract this, and we get 8 and 4, 48. Then we bring down the 7. 84 is going to go into 487. Let's think about it. 80 times 5 is 400. So let's try 84 times 5. This is 20, 40, 42. Okay, so it is 5 times. Comes out to 420. Let's subtract this, and we get 67. Let's bring our decimal straight up and drop the 2. Okay, 84 is going to go into 672. Let's try 8 times. 4 times 8 is 32. And 8 times 8 is 64, plus 3 is 67. So we go into this evenly 8 times with no remainder. So my answer comes out to 15 and 8/10. All right, guys, you have a problem set that looks like this, 13, 14, and 15. I want you to work on this on your own and get it turned in. If you get confused, rewatch the video. If you have any questions, let me know.